John Alexander's pride was hurt when his doctor offered him a disability parking sticker when he had a bad back injury. His emotional reaction in the doctor's office was a perfectly normal one in our society. But the Liberal MP's jokey anecdote at the expense of disabled parking sticker users was a quintessential example of casual ableism, discrimination in favor of able-bodied people, and though unintended, is deeply offensive. The subtext runs along the lines of, "Once I was so incapable that I was offered a disability parking sticker, now look at me, I am successful." The poorly chosen anecdote, part of Mr. Alexander's acceptance speech after winning the Balog by-election, comes just weeks after the swearing-in of Greens Senator Jadu Steele-John, a wheelchair user, to federal parliament, which drew some media attention. Why, you might wonder, has it taken until 2017 for Parliament House to need to be hurriedly fitted out to be wheelchair accessible? The aging and/or chronically ill people I worked with as a community nurse were routinely taken aback when I suggested a parking sticker or any other kind of aid or a service to help them be more independent and participate more in community life. It often be met with a blank look and silence, or perhaps something like, "No, I don't want that." I understood how they felt. Accepting a physical aid requires some acceptance of the loss of a specific ability. It is usually at least a knock to a person's sense of pride. It's often a deep blow to one's sense of identity, self-esteem and value in society. Feelings of shame and embarrassment, however, are often just as painful, shame and embarrassment associated with using aids that are visible to others in public. Our society has a long history of associating disability with being of less value, and stigma persists. "I still have some pride," Mr. Alexander joked. My own introduction to the parking sticker was reluctant and it came with a distinct tinge of dented pride, but without it I could walk far enough from the car to buy groceries and carry them back again. The real challenge to my identity, self-esteem and my pride was the walking aid. During a particularly difficult physio session, at age 42, I finally conceded I needed a walking aid. Half an hour later, I was with Mum at a tiny little wheelchair shop in Footscray test driving different wheelers and walking sticks. I had a proper bawling meltdown, openly crying, unable to stop, with poor Mum and the lovely salesman consoling me. I have been able to reconcile myself to the use of visible aids to a large extent, but it has taken time, encouragement, support and some firm self-talk, and I am not done with it yet. It is still taking some painful stretching of my comfort zone to come to a tolerable degree of acceptance looking unwell and disabled, both in body and in the trappings that go with it. Experience as both a nurse and a patient with chronic illness has taught me that many people with disability, chronic or age-related illness would rather stay home than go to the physical, logistical and mental effort of going out in the community. Pile on issues of self-esteem and shame, and why would you be surprised by a high rate of anxiety, depression and social isolation among them? And so then it is the community who misses out on the presence of these people and the gifts and abilities they can share.